Welcome to the Lose Weight, Live Life podcast. If you're a female professional or entrepreneur who would do anything to lose weight, yet finds it impossible to stick to a diet, to eat less, or just what you think you should, this podcast is for you. I am your host, certified life and weight coach, Clair MACKENZIE. Listen in to learn how to stop overeating, lose weight for the last time, and create a relationship with food and yourself that you love, all without diet deprivation and self-sabotage. Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to episode number 34, The Right Time to Lose Weight. So let's dive into today's topic, which is all about whether there is a right time or a better time to lose weight. So first off, what do we mean when we talk about the right time to lose weight? If you've spent years or decades, like I had, of being on or off a diet, you may well have a sense of what I mean when I talk about the right time, in air quotes, in what I think of as my old diet sort of culture world. The right time for me could have been when there was a brand new diet or diet book launched that everyone was raving about, because I wanted to believe it was possible that this would be the solution for me. The right time was when I didn't have any family birthdays, or the Easter or Christmas weren't on the horizon, because I knew they would derail me. The right time looked like when I had the courage to face a week of getting through the day without feeling hungry and miserable. The right time was just when I could face getting on the scales again to draw another line in the sand. All of this is the story that I used to tell myself about the right time to lose weight. In fact, that wasn't even what it was. It was the right time for me to try and lose weight, because at least 9 times out of 10, I would fail with not even a temporary success. Now, when I think about the right time to lose weight, I want to differentiate between the right time to lose weight and the right time to be intentional and conscious about your food choices. Losing weight can be done through diet deprivation, attempting to manipulate your willpower, and can feel restrictive and awful. And there is never a good time to lose weight in this way. Eating in such a way that you're being deliberate about your food choices, creating a balance between eating for fuel and nourishment and eating for pleasure, is always the way to be eating. And sometimes I think that it may be the right time for you to eat in this way so that it enables you to lose weight. And at other times, you will want to be eating in this way so that you can maintain this weight. So what I'm saying is, it's always the right time to be deliberate about your food choices and eat in a way which gives you fuel and nourishment and balances pleasure with nutrition. And sometimes you will be wanting to eat in that way to lose weight, and sometimes you'll be wanting to eat in that way without losing weight. So having said that, having clarified that when I talk about the right way to lose weight, I'm only talking about a way of eating that is loving and nourishing and balanced, let's consider what make a certain time the right time or better than other times. First, I want you to be aware of your thoughts and feelings about whether now or another time is the right or better time for you to be focused on losing weight. So take a minute, check in and ask yourself, if you're not already focusing on losing weight right now or focusing on being intentional about how you're eating, ask yourself why not and what you're telling yourself about it not being the right time. Okay, your brain will be telling you lots of things, and you may well be used to believing what it says to you. You may well be thinking that what you're hearing your brain say is the truth, but yet it isn't. It's simply a thought or an opinion. Now, if you're in England, you'll be all too aware that over the next few months, we're expecting to come out of lockdown with new, or at least new for 2021, opportunities to socialise and to eat and to drink out and do all of the things. Now, your brain could be telling you you have to lose weight now, either because you don't want your friends to see that you've gained weight during lockdown, or your brain could be telling you there's no way I'm going to focus on weight loss now because I want to eat and drink and see people and enjoy myself. Now, neither of those statements are the truth. They are just thoughts, and in fact, the same person could well be having the same thoughts and feeling totally conflicted. And I want to offer that if you can relate, you get to choose what you want to think and how you want to be eating and drinking differently when you come out of lockdown. By the way, I love that some of you listening to this episode could be hearing it for the first time in like 2022 or 2023, in years to come. And you'll be listening to this now, knowing the future that happened and that future that is my future now being in your past. Crazy. Anyway, so we have our thoughts about the right time, and then we have our circumstances that trigger certain thoughts. Circumstances that frequently come up in relation to reasons why it's the wrong time to focus on weight loss are not having enough time, having work or family commitments that you need or want to make a priority. And whilst we're always getting to decide what we want to think about a circumstance and whether we want to be losing weight. Often it was the number on the scale that was the cause of me deciding to lose weight, or holiday photo where I told myself I looked awful, or the thought of another holiday where I would feel ashamed when I noticed I was the largest person by the pool. All of these are tipping points where I thought the discomfort that I would feel being on the diet was less than the discomfort of living with the number or the photograph or the voice in my head. None of these are worthy examples of the right time to focus on weight loss. If you've been used to waiting for these moments to tell you when it's the right time, then I want you to know that it's most certainly time to upgrade your thinking. Another trigger that often comes along is a health realization or health scare. Having a health realization or health scare can jumpstart you onto a weight loss journey. And this is because your lower primal brain and your higher human brain are aligned at that point in time. Because remember, your primal brain's objective is your survival. It operates by default on the setting where food equates to survival. But when suddenly food equates to the opposite of your survival, then your lower primal and higher human brains are aligned, and it can feel as though losing weight is easier. So is there a right time or a better time to lose weight? The right time to lose weight is going to be when you want to lose weight. It's as simple as that. Don't tell yourself that you must or that you should or that you need to. Ask yourself, do I want to? Do I want to lose weight this week, this month, this year? Yes or no? Why or why not? And then make sure you like your reasons. However, the right time to focus on creating an improved relationship with food and yourself is always going to be now or as soon as possible. Not having enough time or it not being the right time is not a reason, because this is about a shift in mindset and thinking. For some people, this can happen in an instant. And for others, yes, it will be useful to take time to apply tools to help yourself to focus on it, to give time to it. Time to apply the work of understanding your thoughts and feelings about food and yourself. But remember, choosing to eat more of some foods, less of others, and managing your mind so that you stop judging yourself doesn't actually take time. Next, I want to talk about ways for you to resolve your thoughts and feelings about it not being a good time. First, ask yourself why it isn't. Let's look at some possible answers to that question. Previous responses for me would have been, number 1, not having enough physical time. Number 2, thinking that I couldn't cope without being able to eat food when I need to. Number 3, dealing with some imminent event that was far more important or urgent and took up all of my focus and attention. Maybe some life events or maybe traveling for work. Okay, so not having enough physical time. Now, did you know that time is a concept? You have no more or less time than anyone else. I never thought about it before I became a life coach. I just constantly told myself the same story about being the full-time working mum who had no time for anything that wasn't work or taking care of her kids. The house was a mess, and I had no time for friends or family members, so I certainly had no time to dedicate to learning how to improve my relationship with food and myself. That is 100% what I would have thought back then. And yet the reality was that when I did give my time, and by the way, when I mean time, I really mean my attention. When I did give everything my attention to doing just that, what happened is that work became easier and my relationship with my kids became easier. The house did not get cleaner or tidier because I didn't focus my attention on that, but my relationships with my other family members did improve. So essentially what I'm trying to say is exactly the opposite of what I thought was going to happen, happened. When I prioritized myself a little bit to start off with, but stayed consistent with it, other areas of my life suddenly seemed to require less time because everything was falling into place. If you related to the second example that I gave, which is thinking it's not a good time because with the stress or anxiety or fill in the blank with some other feeling that you have about your life right now, you simply cannot cope, or similar words that you hear inside of your own head, without having the option of eating. And what I mean by eating in this context is almost using food to putting food in your mouth so that you can numb your negative emotions, then I want you to know that, as I mentioned earlier, this is flawed diet thinking. You can absolutely create a plan that will allow you to manage your emotions with food and still lose weight. It may not be your long-term goal. Your long-term goal is likely to be, and I recommend that you don't want to use food to manage your emotions, but if the decision is between eating lots of junk food, and by junk food I mean food with zero nutritional value, to manage your emotions, and eating food that is more usefully balanced for nourishment and nutrition, then it's totally possible and you can lose weight at the same time. And then, so thirdly, dealing with some event that is far more important. Let's say, for example, a close family member is very poorly and you need to care for them. Your brain may be telling you it's not a good time to focus on yourself. But what if the opposite were true? What if you taking care of your physical and emotional well-being is the very thing that is going to help you show up for that person in the way that which you want to? At the end of the day, it all comes down to being intentional. It's about you staying conscious with what you want and knowing that you get to decide to create it for yourself. It's about you seeing what your mind is telling you about time and questioning it instead of just listening to it. And it's about you becoming familiar with your own habitual patterns and being aware of the way that you talk about time. Now, when you join my One Life Academy, I give you a lot of information and many ways for you to learn and apply all of this information to your life. There's even a whole masterclass on time. I recently asked members what they loved about the program, what they didn't love about it so much, and what they would like to be introduced when I launch the new version next month. A few members shared how they felt a little overwhelmed at all of the information available, and I totally got it. I could see how it could feel overwhelming if they were thinking that all of that information was something that they had to digest or apply to their life. When they were thinking that they needed to read everything or listen to everything and do all of the accompanying worksheets, it would feel really overwhelming. And this is because they assume firstly that there is a right way to do it, and they don't know what that right way is, and that also creates overwhelm. And secondly, maybe they think for some reason that they have to do it all. And of course, neither of those is true. There is no right way for you to lose weight, no right way for you to create the relationship with food that you want. Whether you join one of my programs or you're doing something different, there is only the way you choose to do it and whether that feels right for you and whether it gives you the results that you want. Knowing this is your truth, and it will help you step out of overwhelm. It will encourage you to see that getting started on your journey and taking baby steps in a way that works for you is so much better than not starting. And remember that when you get started on your journey of creating the relationship with food and yourself that you want, it is about that, not just the weight loss. Okay? And creating that relationship with food and yourself is a lifelong commitment of self-discovery, self-love, enrichment, and nourishment. You get to give as much or as little time to it as you want. You get to go as slowly or as quickly as you would like. Just start and take one small step at a time. Okay, so that is what I have for you today. But before I go, let me tell you that I am getting so excited about what is going to be happening with the all new and improved My One Life Academy when we relaunch it in April. For those of you who don't know, My One Life Academy is my monthly membership coaching program where I teach you everything you need to know about changing your relationship with food and yourself and your life so that you can lose weight for the last time. I launched My One Life Academy almost 12 months ago, and I've had the privilege of helping hundreds of you create a better relationship with food and yourself. And I've learned so much about the best way to teach you everything that I want to teach you and coach you through your own weight loss and eating belief systems that have a habit of keeping you stuck. So if you've been thinking of joining, now is absolutely the best time to do so because we are giving you a year's worth of amazing content, essentially as a part of your first month's membership, you get access to all of the coaching calls that have taken place over the past 12 months and all of the masterclasses. And when we relaunch in April, we're going to be starting with a brand new sort of clean slate, helping people not feel overwhelmed when they signed up, but essentially join now and you get the best of both worlds. So if you want to do that, go to www.thebestyou.coach/MolaWeb. That's MOLAWEB. It's just £34 a month and there's no tie-in, so you can cancel at any time. Also, if you go to the show notes on my website, you'll see a link for the page there. And there's a link for information about the next Lose Weight, Live Life Mastermind coming up in April. And also I'm going to pop a link on there for my free Facebook Lose Weight, Live Life group, which is at facebook.com/groups/Lose Weight, Live Life. I'd love to see you there. Take care. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast and are ready to live a more intentional life, lose weight as a part of that journey, and create a relationship with food and yourself that you love, then I would be honoured to be your coach. There are 2 ways that you can work with me. You can join my monthly membership program, My One Life Academy, that gives you self-paced learning, supported by twice weekly live calls and a whole lot more. Or you can join the waiting list for my next 6-month Lose Weight, Live Life group coaching mastermind intensive. Go to www.thebestyou.coach/coaching to find out all the details.